Guys, what is up? This is Eddie Neddy here for another video on the channels. This video I'll be explaining my thoughts on why teams coming down from the Premier League usually struggle in the Championship. Name me a few suggestions that and reasons why behind I think they struggle, and just for any team it comes down why they usually struggle, because it used to be usually the bottom three teams that go down usually go straight back up, a long time ago, but it's not that case anymore. Now teams come down, they have a chance of going down again, even though you'd instantly think in your mind going, oh, they're going straight back up, look at the quality in their squad. But anyway, boys, we're going to talk about, before we kick on with this video, if any of you guys are new to the channel and like this type of content I produce, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to try and hit 1.3k as soon as possible. A massive thank you to every single one of you guys that have subscribed, though. Please leave your comment on anything which I say, which you guys think might be, might be a bit too harsh, because I'm going to go quite harsh into this. I am going to criticise clubs on why they struggled. So I'm going to kick off with Sunderland. Sunderland is the biggest case at the moment. Sunderland is the most recent one that have just fallen apart, honestly. Sunderland Football Club has fallen apart, which they could come back up in a season or so, but even their display against, yesterday they played against Bristol Rovers, come on, I'm not being rude. Sunderland, Bristol Rovers. That's the first time Bristol Rovers has got a point at Sunderland ever. I might be wrong, but it's just insane, honestly, So they came down for the Premier League with a lot of good players, like Barini, Jermaine Defoe, Pickford. Unlucky for them players didn't stay. If they would have stayed, who would know what the case could have been. But I think Defoe obviously left. I don't know who Defoe went to. Did he go to... I think he went to Bournemouth. Was he at Bournemouth? I might be wrong. He went to Bournemouth, then went on loan to multiple clubs, then went to Rangers. And he was honestly a fantastic striker. One of the main reasons why Sunderland have done really well, in my opinion, when they were there. Because let's face it, when Sunderland had Sam Allardyce, they were doing well. We all thought, they'd be pushing up there, but the board decided to sack Sam Allardyce. I think he asked for maybe too much money on a contract, which he probably deserved at the same time. We all know what Sunderland are like with money. And then they got relegated. I don't know who their manager was when they got relegated. I really do not know, but very unfortunate for Sunderland. And they also went down into the Championship, and then their business in the Championship wasn't that great either. They brought in some decent players like Graban. Great striker in my opinion, one of the best in the Championship. Scored goals for Sunderland as well. And then he obviously moved on to bigger clubs. Then moved on to Villa. No, I don't know. He went to, I think he was on loan at Sunderland from Bournemouth. Then Bournemouth recalled him. Bournemouth wanted to sell him permanently, and then I think Villa came in with a ridiculous offer. I can't remember how much it was. I think he was about 6 or 5 million, or maybe even more than that. And they sold him to Nottingham Forest. Not sure much they sold Nottingham Forest for. I think about 3 million. Because let's face it, he's aging a bit. Strikers don't usually do that well past usually 34 or 35. But what am I going about is, Lewis Graban, key player. If he would have stayed at Sunderland and Bournemouth didn't recall him, who would have known what could have happened? Who would have actually known what could have happened? Then Sunderland obviously decided to appoint a new... They just went manager after manager after manager. Simon Grayson, Chris Coleman, I think there was one in between that as well, and then, they ended up with Jack Ross and now Phil Parkinson. Phil Parkinson, I don't think he's the perfect fit for Sunderland, but he's experienced, he knows how the league works, and, as you guys have heard, there's been rumours of a salary cap coming to League One. I don't know if it has happened, but Sunderland's salary cap compared to Sunderland's pay rise is mental. That's what needs to happen. They need to get rid of all their players. Well, not all their players, but, all the players which were, think they're bigger than what they are. Players that could still be on Premier League wages or Championship high-quality players. Let them go. Build from the foundations. Bring up youth. And we could see Sunderland fight yet again in the Championship, or possibly fight again toward the Premier League. Whether that will happen, I will not know. But then again, not many clubs are going to pay, a couple of mil plus, 30k a week for a mid-table League One player. That's just facts right there. And yeah, I feel sorry for Sunderland. I'd love to see them back again in the Championship and maybe fight again in the Prem. But it doesn't look like this season ever. We really don't know what's happened to Sunderland Football Club. Next up to talk about is Stoke. Now this one is, they haven't done as worse obviously as Sunderland, but let's face it, they haven't done as well as everyone predicted. As soon as Stoke came from down for the come down to the Championship, I think they were nailed on favourites to get promoted. You know, because they spent like 25 million appointed a new manager in Gary Rowett at the time, which I think is honestly a fantastic appointment. Gary Rowett was a good manager at the time, but then again, Gary Rowett didn't do well with money. Like, look at him, he's doing well at Millwall with barely any money. Doing well at Birmingham with barely any money. You know, but he's gone out and spent, like, what was it, 7 million on a Phobe, you know, a couple of mil on Smith, couple of mil on Lindsay, couple of mil on this, couple of mil on that. You know, they're just going mad, really, on the window. But they are in the up at the moment under Michael O'Neill. I still think they need another season in the Championship, just purely because obviously build up their youngsters, because they are pushing through a lot of youngsters like Campbell, Tyrese Campbell, and Verlinden. Even though they're not the full player which they could be yet, they still are decent young talents that should be watched out for the future. They've already got some good players at their club. That's the problem with Stoke at the moment. They've got 2 split dressing rooms they've got 3 young talents which are honestly care about the football club, which are trying to prove themselves. Another side here of, you know, the relegated Premier League pile that think they're better than what they are. Middle package, you know, all their new signings which they brought, it's a split dressing room. They really can't, you know, just merge as one. You know, in my opinion, that's why Stoke massively struggled. You know, they also had a manager which couldn't manage them at the time. They've now got Michael O'Neill, which hopefully it will go well for them with Michael O'Neill. Whether it will, I don't know. I can't see into the future, can I? But he should hopefully do well. They're picking up form. And yeah, there you go, Stoke. Yeah. Another club in the game is Huddersfield. Now, Huddersfield have done the biggest risk in the Championship this season by appointing Carlos Colbrahan, something like that. I don't really know the full pronunciation of it. I do apologise. But, I think Huddersfield will be in trouble this season. As you guys saw in my Premier League, but as you guys see, I put them in the Championship predictions video. I decided to put them into 21st. As we all know, Huddersfield were doing really well in the Premier League under David Wagner. Got promoted under David Wagner again with a mediocre team. You know, no real big players. They came as the Premier League. Let's face it, they spent a bit of money here and there. I think they spent like 10 million on a striker, a couple of million on another striker. You know, a couple of mil on the midfield. Aaron Moy, honestly, a great midfielder, brought in permanent, and they were doing well in the Premier League. You know, but obviously, you know, second season syndrome came in, relegated, and now they could face another relegation. In my opinion, I think they will be in that battle. I know all Huddersfield fans will probably watch this going, what on earth are you on about? But assistant managers and under-23 managers don't work, really. They very rarely work. If they do, honestly, Huddersfield could be a massive threat, honestly, because if they go up, you know, let's say in 2 seasons this Carver had, they'll be good for seasons upon seasons upon seasons, because it's young blood, young energy, young manager. You know, and I think they could do really well, Huddersfield, if that happens. But I don't think it will. I really don't think it will. But I always do apologise. You can see this mask in the background. I don't know why I've got it. My mate gave it to me, but, you know, we go with it. And just thinking I want to point that out. But yeah, Huddersfield, you guys can see Huddersfield massively struggle. Like, that's the problem. You know, clubs need to realise that spending money in the Championship doesn't necessarily mean you'll do well. You know, it depends how you spend your money. You need to give the manager you have complete trust in. There's no point appointing, you know, there's no point of going, let's appoint, you know, Carlos Carvajal, you know, he could do well, he might bring in some good players, he might sell some. See, it doesn't work, you know, it really doesn't work. You know, I'm trying to think of another club which got relegated, they haven't done that well. Cardiff, that's another one. Cardiff, we all thought would go straight back up. Massively struggled under Neil Warnock, you know, in their first in the Championship. Unfortunate for them, Neil Harris came in, and done the job. Almost got them back promoted again. But like I said, they struggled again. You know, seems like, you know, it seems like teams that are coming down nowadays are just panic buying and, you know, and think they'll go straight back up by spending a load of money. You know, if it was, you know, who spent the most money in the league, you know, Stoke would have gone up immediately, you know, but obviously that's not the case. Whether FFP will hit Stoke if they don't go up this season, if they don't, they will struggle next season. You know, with FFP, points deductions and all this, because I think they spent somewhere, I researched it, I think they spent something like 50 million over 2 seasons, you know, in the Championship on just players. That's initial fee for the players, initial fee. That's not even counting wages and player bonuses. You know, that is honestly mental. That really is honestly mental, and, you know, I'm excited to see, you know, these teams play again this season. But teams like Norwich, no offence, but they'll do well. Like, just purely because of their squad is kind of a Championship squad when they go to the Premier League. If you stay in the Premier League for a couple of seasons, buy a load of good players, then get relegated, your club can't handle it, you'll end up playing like a load of your youngsters and like a load of reserve bench players, you know, in your first team. Whether Bournemouth or Watford will crumble this season, who knows? I don't really know. I don't think Bournemouth will do that well. I don't think Watford do that well either. But who knows? Anyway, boys, that is it for this video here. I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video. If you guys have, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Honestly, in the absolute world, if any guys could, because we are trying to grind to 1.3k. But thank you all for watching this video, lads. Honestly, I love every single one of you. And hope you guys all take care, lads. Peace.